Next in the creation of our water pump are some bosses to add mounting holes to. So I'm going to click and I'm going to rotate around. I'm going to look normal to my bottom face because that's where I want to sketch. And I'm going to tell I want to make an extrude boss. Click on white space to clear that. And I want to make some circles. So I'm going to sketch my circles in their approximate location. So I made these 5 circles. I'm going to push escape. And again, I'm going to dimension things and add relationships. So I'm going to dimension this at 3/4. I'll add the relationships later. And this circle from the origin is over 2.1. And then this one from the origin is over 3.45. And then the last dimension to here, if I can get the right dimension, come on, that's all it works. There we go, it's 0.275. And then I'm going to push escape. So next I'll select all the circles while I hold control. I'll release control and I'm going to set all these equal. So what I want to now do is work my way around and get them fully defined with relationships. So these two are vertical. So I'll add that. The other thing I might want to do is move this a bit or this one a bit. Try and drag them over, figure out why I can't. And the reason I can't is because of this distance here. So what I want to do, I do want this lower. So next, this circle, I'm going to hold control, select my part edge. These are tangent. It says it can't find the solution. So I'm going to click on no solution found because I've added a relationship or dimension wrong. I'm going to tell it to come over here and diagnose the problem. And it's found 7 possible solutions. So the first one is they're not the same radius. Well, that's not true. They are. So I'm going to say next. Also, I'm going to zoom out a bit because it's going to change various things and I want to see all the changes. So again, get rid of the equal radius back to this one. We know all these are equal, so I'm going to keep stepping through them. And now it says get rid of the tangency. That's a possibility. I may have selected the wrong edge for the tangency. So I'm going to go next. And then it says, what about that distance? Well, I'm going to double check. He does have 3.45, so I need it. And then 6. Maybe the diameter of the circle's wrong. So let's double check that. Nope, the diameter is 3/4. And then 7, again, an equal radius. So the only possibility in this case is that the tangent is to the wrong entity. So I'm going to accept that. It's now found a valid solution and say OK. And this is a common problem. But again, I need this fully defined, so I'm going to keep working my way around. So I'm going to grab this circle and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. If I want these edges to look nicer, I can come here to my options, and then I'll come over and select the document properties. And then I'll select image quality, and I'm going to turn this up a bit so I get a nicer, rounder shape. I'll also turn this up a bit. But the more I turn these up, the slower my computer will respond. And I'll say OK. Now they look more round. So I'll select this edge, hold control, select this edge of my circle. Again, I want tangent. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Same thing here. So that one's fully defined. I'm going to select the outside edge of the circle, select the edge of the part, and once again I'll add tangency. We see how they're getting fully defined. So then I'll select this one, hold control, select this. They're vertical. And then also this and this edge, even though they aren't there yet, I'll add the tangency. So these are all fully defined. And the last 2 I need to work with is this. So if I move these around, I can see how they behave. So in this case, I'm going to select this circle, hold control, select this radius, add that tangency. Still no solution found. So this time I'm going to Control Z, undo it. And I'm going to move it a bit more, and I need to figure out what went wrong. So at this point, I'm going to delete this 3.45 and see how it behaves. These 2 are still vertical, so they're moving together. And once again, I'm going to come over here. I'll zoom in. I'll select this arc. I'm going to hold control. I'm going to select this arc, and I'll make them tangent. And now we can see how they are. They'll still both move vertically and they're locked together. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to activate Smart Dimension, and I'm going to add this dimension again. And I can't do the 3.45 because it's too far. So I'm going to say OK. 3.22 it's giving me. Don't like that. I'm going to delete this dimension. So there's either an issue with my initial base sketch or there's a problem somewhere else. So I need to figure this out. And these little things can be tricky. So I'm going to move around and I'm going to look at it and I say, well, if I look at it, I'm pretty certain I need a tangency here and here. So I'm going to add that tangency. And then again, I'll see how they behave. And it moves around. Same thing with this one. It's moving around. But I'm trying to look and see where it belongs. So I'm going to try and move it over a bit more. Once again, I'll activate Smart Dimension. Click here and I'll come up. And I'll click to place it. And now it's fully defined. So I'm going to first try 3.4 and I'm going to rebuild it and see how it looks. Well, this is giving me an issue. That's not good. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to make it 3.35 and rebuild it. Now that's acceptable. And that does look like his sketch. So I'm going to accept that, and then I'm going to have to go back and edit my initial base sketch and see if I've made a dimension, because we seem to have a 100 thou discrepancy. But for now, I'll continue on with this. So I'll exit the sketch, go back to the isometric view. These are going in the wrong direction, so I'll flip them. I want their distance to be 1.25 inches. And I want draft of 1 degree. It's going to draft inward. I'll accept that. And then next, I'll go and look at what have I done wrong, or does the textbook have a mistake?